Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to talk about Moses used titles for the Creator. Whenever we realize that the use of the name of Yahuwah, has effectively been undermined through censorship and replacement words such as the Lord, for example, or Hashem, when we realize this, it can kind of have a polarizing effect on us because, hey, it's his name. His name is important. And so we might kind of become opposed to any use of titles as a result. But I wanted to point out some things that Moses does in the Torah and in the wilderness examples and accounts. So we see that Moses frequently does use the name. But he also uses titles. And he uses titles at times whenever he is seeking mercy, for example. Let's look at a few examples, such as in Exodus 34:9. This is shortly after the golden calf incident. And he said, "If please, I found favor in your eyes, my Lord, he shall go, please, my Lord, in near us, that he is people stiff of neck, and you shall pardon to our iniquity and to our wrongdoing, and you shall inherit us." In this case, my Lord is Adonai. So in this case, the Israelites had just recently done a terrible thing. They had created a cast calf. And Moses is seeking mercy and asking that Yahuwah be coming with them in their midst and bring them into the land of Canaan and have compassion on them. And in this case, he is using the word Adonai in that process. Let's also look at Numbers 12. This is in regard to Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, being struck with scourge. And Moses cried to Yahuwah to say, "El, please, heal, please, to her." So here he says El. In Numbers 14:17, after the spies spied out the land of Canaan and they gave the evil report, Moses was once again praying for mercy, and we see, "And now, please, power of my Lord shall greaten, as which you worded." So we see my Lord, Adonai, again. And also we see in Numbers 16:20 through 22, "And Yahuwah worded to Moses and to Aaron to say, Be divided from midst of this congregation, and I shall finish them as a moment. And they fell on their faces, and they said, El, Elohim of the winds to all flesh, the man, one, shall do wrong, and on all of the congregation you shall be angry." So here we see El and Elohim as well. So as you see, the use of titles was something that Moses did not see a problem with. I would think that if there was some problem with it, and if there was expected to be some problem with it, that it'd be odd for him to be seeking mercy and to do something like that in the process. It would not make much sense. The use of titles is not prohibited in the Torah. And we even see, for example, in Exodus 25, the use of titles by Elohim himself. In reference to other Elohim, "You shall not prostrate yourself to them, and you shall not be caused to serve them, that I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am envious El." So here we have envious El. This also appears in Exodus 34, in verse 14, "That you shall not prostrate yourself to another El, that Yahuwah, his name is envious, he is envious El." And in verse 6, "And Yahuwah crossed on his faces, and he called, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, compassionate and favoring. So we see that the use of titles in the Torah is not something that is shied away from. Moses and Aaron use titles whenever they are seeking mercy, and I would think that that would be a time when they definitely would make sure they were doing the right thing, and they would make sure that they are going to seek his mercy in what they are doing. And even Elohim himself uses titles to refer to himself. And of course, the term Elohim appears very frequently throughout the Torah. So while it does make sense that we would polarize to and otherwise resent the fact that the use of titles has effectively replaced the use of the name, because his name is very important and it effectively has been removed from most people's awareness. But even though that is the case, there is not a prohibition on the use of titles. Using both is completely acceptable. There is no command in the Torah that says we cannot use titles. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out some of my other videos about other Torah issues, and be sure that you stay in touch so we can continue this discussion. Thanks for watching. Remember the commands. Shalom.